I'm giving away this championship belt once I hit 100,000 subscribers, so go ahead and click subscribe today. Welcome back to TAS. We're going to talk about some big WWE news and AEW news in today's video. I want to kick things off with Uncle Howdy. A lot of people are speculating on the internet that WWE is going to be using Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy. And this is obviously generating a ton of conversation on social media. Boozer Wrestling put out a tweet. He says, I'm going to hold on to this for a while, but expect Rocky, Howdy, and other 2023 close-off updates. You might want to be patient with this one. There are tons of rumblings that Uncle Howdy could make his way back into WWE. And obviously, this is going to be super interesting considering that Bray Wyatt recently passed away. You know, I was a very big fan of the Bray Wyatt character and gimmick. It's no secret. I really, really loved his work. And when you added Uncle Howdy into the mix, there was a lot of intrigue for me. I was one of those people on the internet that genuinely enjoyed watching WWE actually implement this character, the vignettes and video packages and stuff. I'm thrilled by that stuff. I think wrestling is better when you got the shenanigans. I think wrestling is better when you have the wacky, crazy characters. And Uncle Howdy is a very special performer because it's played by Bo Dallas. A lot of people believe it's happening, and I just don't know what to think here. There's been no talk of WWE releasing Bo Dallas. There's been no updates in regards to Bo Dallas being under contract or out of contract. And the reality is, I think it's too soon to even speculate on whether or not he should be back. I think a lot of people are talking about this like it's a sure thing. I don't necessarily find that to be the case. But of course, with Boozer coming out with this tweet, it definitely has people talking. It definitely has people interested in his return. But what can they do? You know, and I'm afraid that it might not work. I don't know. I really want to be optimistic about it, but of course, we'll see in due time. Guys, Boozer put out another tweet regarding Edge. Obviously, massive day for WWE. They've been posting about Jade Cargill pretty much all day. They've posted photos and videos of her training at the Performance Center, ESPN. Everybody's talking about it. But of course, as you guys know, on the flip side of people leaving AEW for WWE, there's people leaving WWE for AEW. Boozer seems to believe that there is a lot of traction here. He says Edge is closer to AEW more than ever, apparently. Mind blown on how this business have changed, yet so similar to WCW, WWF. The E are playing the right cards right now. Unless something big pops up in AEW, books in the future. I really doubt E will come back with big money move for Edge. Doubt it. If I get updates on it, I will let you know. So really, it sounds like Edge going to AEW might be more based on the idea that AEW is going to offer serious money. Now, you guys got to look at this from a different perspective. Forget about Edge, the wrestler, right? The human being should go and get money wherever that may be. Forget about us judging wrestling for a second. Like, I support the idea of wrestlers going and getting more money elsewhere. I do. It's a big part of what I believe. It's a big part of this channel. I believe that with the healthy wrestling industry the way it is and having companies being able to offer top tier money, it's a fantastic thing. Especially Adam Copeland, the human being. If he leaves WWE, goes to AEW, he gets to work with Christian. He gets to get paid a lot of money doing it. That's a fantastic thing. Now, if I'm speaking from a wrestling standpoint, if I'm judging the business and if I'm judging booking and stuff like that, I do get a little bit of a concern for AEW bringing in Edge because we're looking at one of their young emerging stars just leaving the company to go to WWE. Jade Cargill literally has in an interview with the Ringers that, like, she wants to be in the Hall of Fame. She wants to be at the top. Like, this is something that she's been looking towards. And I think that is very, 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 very big. And it's a very big deal because that is an emerging star from AEW. Now, if you want to be a tribalist and defend AEW with all of your heart and soul, good for you. Go ahead and do it. But the fact remains, an emerging star, rising star, somebody who's actually a very big part of the puzzle, when she openly says that WWE was always her goal, it's one of those things where you have to be somewhat alarmed. Is AEW making the right move by going after veterans and bringing them into the company and spending a shit ton of money on them? And that's where I'm judging wrestling, right? Forget about the personal stuff I said earlier, because there's two sides to every coin. Now, of course, I would love to see Edge get that bag, But on the flip side, I want to see AEW really focus in on these homegrown stars, because eventually I don't want them to all go to WWE. You know what I mean? So I think it would be a very bad choice to be putting a lot of attention on Edge and having him take over screen time from other people. The good side, though, the one praise that I constantly give AEW is they do bring in veterans and they don't take away from others. At some point, though, if you're going to be spending a crazy amount of money on Edge, I feel like it's almost a given that he's going to have to take up TV time from other people. I hope they book him the right way, but I'm kind of excited to see what they do with him. Honestly, it's going to be very interesting for them to go after him, bring him in, and I think it could all happen at WrestleDream. And that brings us to our final story of today's video, guys, the headliner, NJPW. There are tons of rumors surrounding AEW buying NJPW, and this is crazy. I don't even know where these rumors started, but obviously they were hot enough for Tony Khan to be asked about this, at the media call today, and he's not going to tell everybody what's going on. He is not going to leak anything in regards to this new era for AEW that keeps being teased for WrestleDream. And so part of me believes that maybe Edge will show up at WrestleDream, which would be a very unique situation considering the fact that you got Christian versus Darby Allin. I could see Edge coming in and helping him out and retaining the belt. That could be a very cool way to introduce him, right? Especially when you consider Darby, Sting, Edge, and Christian. You could do some stuff there. I would say that's very practical. But when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling, Tony Khan is not opening his mouth about it, and he's not outright denying it either, which is interesting. But dude, I gotta say, I genuinely gotta say this. There's a lot of people who forgot AEW's mission, which was to end the wrestling monopoly. So AEW bought ROH, okay. It's not like ROH really had much to give the industry anymore, but they bought ROH. If they were to buy NJPW, I do feel like that's kind of a bad look on them. I don't even think, honestly, if I'm being completely transparent with you guys, I don't think AEW is buying NJPW. What I think could happen, what I see happening, is at WrestleDream, AEW announcing an expansion into Japan. Now, you might be wondering why exactly this would be the case, but I could see Tony Khan working with their partnership through New Japan, doing their own shows in Japan. And, WWE's doing global localization where they're going international. And even though AEW doesn't have performance centers or they're not training or developing people like that on that level, I could see them trying to get into the Japan market before WWE does. And I think that would be very realistic. Whether they buy New Japan, I don't know. That just sounds a little crazy to me. And I don't think it would be a good thing for pro wrestling. But Tony Khan's got money, so anything is possible. It's just he's not shutting it down, which is so strange. And he's not teasing what this new era means and what it's going to be. He's hyping it up. Is this going to be a massive W or a massive L? What do you guys think? Let me know. Don't forget, I'm giving away this championship at 100,000 subscribers. Peace.